it is becoming more and more difficult to encapsulate just how far the beautiful country of Canada has fallen in a decade. Truly shocking what's happened in this country. We've allowed 8 million invaders in a decade, in an unprecedented attack on the Canadian middle and lower class, our proud past, our incredible history. 2015, let me paint a picture for you. We had only 32 million Canadians on the second largest landmass of any country in the world. Idyllic in so many ways, strong middle class, incredible natural resources, future looking incredibly bright. We elect Justin Trudeau in 2015, and the rapidity with which the Canadian dream has dissolved into a dystopian woke nightmare is one for the history books. Never in world history, unless they're being invaded, has a country allowed 8 million, over 27% of the world, of the country's population, into the country in such a short period of time. Only 1 in 6 of these new arrivals considered high-skilled workers. This has decimated not only the Canadian middle and lower classes, but also the sense of pride in being a Canadian. Many of these new Canadians come from very different cultures. They have transformed the country in many different ways. Many do not respect Western values. We see them on our streets now every day, shouting the most vile things you've ever heard, rolling fake can you imagine in 2015 a protest with fake body bags being rolled down Canadian streets? Can you imagine a protest in 2015 with fake blood on people's hands? Can you imagine a protest where everybody is wearing a mask and you can only see the slits of their eyes? Can you imagine a protest in 2015 all throughout the streets of Canada without a single Canadian flag to be seen? The transformation of this country is truly, truly shocking. And it's thanks to the Liberal Party of Canada and this woke view of the world that every country that's been infected up by it winds up ravaged. They claim to have a monopoly on empathy, be the only ones who care about people. You know what? The exact opposite is true. Justin Trudeau, Mark Carney, and the Liberal elite do not see how they have ravaged our street. They do not see the fact that in our major cities, crack smoke is all over the place due to their safe supply laws. They do not see the fact that youth unemployment is over 17%, the highest it's been at in decades, because Tim Hortons, Wendy's, it's now all foreign workers. What used to be easy entry-level jobs for Canadian youth to attain has now become a near impossibility for so many due to the ridiculously out-of-touch policies that the Canadians have implemented. The Canadian government has implemented. And it's time to stand up and fight, because Mark Carney continues to carry these policies on despite the fact that 75% of Canadians say enough is enough. The polling right now is overwhelming as it's ever been in a country that's notoriously pro-immigration. Yet because of the insanity that we've endured for the past decade, that fact has changed. Now 3 in 4 Canadians say we cannot afford any more immigration. And what does Mark Carney do? First quarter of 2025, first 4 months of his prime ministership, nearly 800,000 between permanent and temporary immigrants into the country. This is a betrayal of the Canadian people unlike anything we've ever seen. And we need to stand up and fight it. Mark Carney is running this country on behalf of Brookfield Asset Management. That may sound like an overstatement to you, but it's not. It's whether it be the immigration policies that are being implemented, clearly anybody with 2 eyes can see this is not for the betterment of the Canadian people. This is being done because Brookfield Asset Management, where Carney spent his entire career, never been elected dog catcher in Canada before he was appointed our Prime Minister. Brookfield Asset Management owns $37 billion worth of real estate and housing in Canada. This is the exact problem we have in this country. Politician after politician, it's such a shit show in this country. Everywhere you go, crack smoke all over the place, thanks to these liberal policies. But we have politicians now who run the country on behalf of multinational conglomerates like Brookfield Asset Management. Mark Carney needs to pump the numbers up of Brookfield's real estate assets. So basic economics, supply and demand. You flood the country with immigrants, and Brookfield's rental and housing prices are going to go up, which is all he cares about. It's so disgusting. The government's primary responsibility is to look after the people, the people that elect them. Crackheads all over the place. This is everywhere you go now in Ottawa. It's become insane. Can't walk anywhere in Canadian cities without open, hard drug use. But anyway, Brookfield Asset Management, he has to continue to pump those numbers up. You think he gives a shit about the average day-to-day experience of your middle and lower class Canadians? Of course not. Of course not. So when you scratch your head and you say, why? Why when the people are saying, enough, the sovereignty of our country means something to us. We cannot afford more immigration. He allows another 800,000 in Q1 because it gets him and his buddies rich, and that's all Mark Carney cares about. Him and his buddies getting and staying rich. It's truly disgusting behavior. The only major project he's gotten off the ground yet, prefab housing. You know why? Brookfield owns a company called Modular. They do prefab housing. Again, lining his own pockets over the will of the Canadian people. And what's his response to Canadians overwhelmingly saying, enough, we cannot afford any more immigration? What's his response? Passing bills that make it a crime to criticize the government. I kid you not. Bill C2 now defines every Canadian with a computer as an electronic device holder. Electronic device holders, if it's deemed in the national security interest in Canada, if Bill C2 gets passed, the government can access any of your digital communications. I kid you not, it's at the back of this bill. An assault on our fundamental rights and freedoms unlike anything the world has seen since the Patriot Act in the States. Bill C2 also would allow the government to access any Canadian's mail without notifying them. Bill C-63 allows the government to put a Canadian under house arrest and give them an ankle braces if they deem that they believe they are likely to say something hateful in the future. I kid you not, this is not even a bill being passed for crimes that have been committed, but for pre-crimes, for stating that somebody is likely to say something hateful in the future. They can be put under house arrest with an ankle bracelet. It's hard to define how disgusting these attacks on free speech. They say we're allowing a mass unvetted invasion of your country, and we're making it a crime to criticize it. I feel like I'm living in an upside down world. It's true insanity. True insanity. It's time that Canadians fight back and said enough is enough. I'm setting up rallies Saturday, September 13th, Saturday, September 27th, Parliament Hill. Patriotic Canadians, get out there. We need to make our voices heard. I'm getting near 10K subs on TikTok. And you know what that means for a dissident of our government. They can't have that in the media. So please follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/@FightForCanada2025, youtube.com/@FightForCanada2025. There, if you're interested in supporting the rallies, can hit the link. Grab some great gear, some amazing gear. Subscribe to my Substack, help get the word out. Patriotic Canadians, I know we outnumber these elitist creeps 10-1, but we're going to have to fight to get this country back. Like I said, please follow me on YouTube for further updates, or if you enjoy my content, as the Canadian government doesn't like dissidents on TikTok for too long. We're fighting back and we're taking this country back.